Hey, welcome back to Tech Advances. A few weeks ago, Sony unveiled two new OLED models for 2021 at CES. So that's the A90J and the A80J. So this video is all about the A90J, everything about the TV and what my opinion is on it. Just to give you a heads up, I think it is beautiful. I think this TV is so good. Everything about it is amazing. Except the price point. That's the only thing that's a little bit of a drawback. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the A90J. But before we do, for everybody that's subscribed to my channel so far, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love the support. I love the engagement from everybody. I love the comments. I love responding to any questions that people have. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, be sure to subscribe to this channel. Be sure to like this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up. The Tech Advances family is slowly growing. Right now we're at 320 subscribers. My first goal is to get to 1,000, and then from there my next goal is a million bajillion. That's my goal, is a million bajillion subscribers on YouTube. So help me get there. Subscribe to this channel. All right, enough of that. Let's get to the A90J. So the Sony A90J replaces the AG9 and is the top model in the Master Series for the 2021 4K OLED TVs from Sony. It's really good to finally have the Master Series back after a few years of not having the Master Series around. Now this TV will come in 55 inches, 65 inches, and 85 inches. The TV has a seamless edge bezel design with a frame of just 0.7 millimeters for the 55 inch and the 65 inch models. Like I said at the beginning, this TV is absolutely beautiful. It doesn't even look like there's a frame or a bezel on the TV. It just looks like it's all panel, and I am all for it. The A90J will use a new processor called Cognitive Processor XR. XR Cognitive Processor is basically a new processing method that goes beyond the conventional artificial intelligence. So it makes improvements to content, but understands how a human sees and hears. And then the processor divides the screen into numerous zones and detects where the focal point is in the picture. And then the processor also cross-analyzes an array of elements all at once rather than individually like in traditional AI televisions, just as the human brain does. So it's pretty crazy that this TV can kind of pick up what a human brain would pick up as you're watching TV or as you're watching something in real life. The way that your eyes and your mind would pick it up is what this TV is trying to copy. This channel is all about tech advances, and that right there is the next movement into the future. It's the next step forward. So what happens with TVs is one company, let's say LG or Sony, does something and it's kind of setting the industry. It's cutting edge, bleeding edge technology that nobody else has. And then the next year or two, all the other companies start to follow. This is something that a lot of companies will start to follow rather than conventional AI methods. Now we've got the XR processor, and it's the Cognitive XR processor. Now this new Cognitive XR processor is also going to help one of the biggest vices of OLED TVs. I think vice is a good word to use, because the biggest downside of an OLED TV is that the brightness gets capped off. I'm not sure what the nit level would be, but it's way below what an LED panel would be. Now, this new XR Cognitive processor also fixes one of the biggest issues with OLED TVs, and that's that the TVs are not that bright. They're a much darker display than LED panels, but they show colors really well. This new processor allows for the OLED panel to be a little bit brighter, and this mixes in with OLED Contrast Pro, where the brightness is adjusted for higher peaks and glare and deeper blacks in shadows. So the biggest issue with OLEDs is that they're too dark, and this Sony A90J is going to fix that issue, which is, it's music to my ears. I am so excited to see what that looks like. Now, the sound for the A90J is equipped with an improved version of the built-in sound system, which Sony calls the Acoustic Surface Audio Plus, that uses the ultra-thin OLED panel as speakers. XR Sound mixes with Dolby Atmos speakers to bounce sound throughout your room for better spatial and 3D audio. There's also a new front-facing subwoofer that utilizes the OLED panel to create invisible low-frequency sound waves. So this new Cognitive processor is also enhancing the sound as well, and overall the TV is going to sound amazing. I'm not sure if you need to get a soundbar and a subwoofer or some kind of home audio system as well. I have yet to hear the TV. The sound aspect of a TV is so subjective. You really have to hear it in person to be able to understand what it would be like. I have not heard it in person yet. I haven't seen the TV in person yet. So I can't really say if the sound will be that much more improved, but Sony claims that it is. The TV also comes with two HDMI 2.1 ports and both support eARC as well. Now, VRR and ALLM seem to be the downfall for Sony. They will be a part of this TV as well via a future firmware update. If you've seen any of my other videos, mainly on the X900H, you know that this TV has been said to get the firmware update at some point in the future. We're way past the future at this point, and this X900H doesn't even have the firmware update for the VRR and ALLM features. So when I read that, I think to myself, is it really going to get that firmware update? Because it seems like Sony's been crying wolf for 7, 8, 9 months at this point. Now that the wolf is here, we don't have what we need. So yeah, I don't know if I really believe that. I'm sure Sony will roll out the firmware update soon, but I think that they need to do that before this TV gets released to the public rather than saying it'll come via a future firmware update. And then this TV will also support the features found in the 2020 models, including Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, HDR10, HLG, IMAX Enhanced, Netflix Calibrated mode. And then one of the biggest features that I'm excited for is the Google TV. So rather than having Android TV, we will now have Google TV on the A80 and A90J, and I am all for that. Honestly, Android TV has not been that great, and I think that Google TV coming to these TVs is Sony's step forward, Sony's step into the future, and admitting that Android TV wasn't the best, and them saying, look, we're willing to make it better, and I think that that's a great move by Sony. As I've said many times in my past videos, Sony is the brand that I would go with if I had an infinite amount of money to spend. I would go with Sony. I would definitely go with the A90J. Now, the price points for this TV have not really been released, but there is some sort of speculation that the 55-inch will be $2,999, the 65-inch will be $3,999, and the 83-inch will be even more. So if you're somebody that's got a lot of money, if you're somebody that's got some good money to spend on a TV, looking at upwards of $3,000, maybe $3,500 with taxes, hit me up. If you got that kind of money to spend on a TV, hit me up, buy me one as well, because I will be forever jealous that you get to have this beautiful TV in your house. Now, I tried to keep it pretty high level in this video. If you want a more detailed video, or if you want the Sony A90J compared to the new LG G1, Be The Installer is a really good place to go on YouTube. He does awesome videos just like this one. He goes much more in depth than I do. His knowledge is way more than mine is on this matter. So I'll link his video in the description below. You can check it out in the description below to get more details on the A90J. I'm excited. I'm excited for what 2021 has to bring. 2020 was okay. There were a lot of issues. 2021, let's just start with a new slate. So there you have it, the A90J. Let me know what you think of the price point, and let me know if you would prefer the A90J or if you would rather go with the LG G1. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to this video, give this a thumbs up, check out my other videos for awesome tech reviews, and if you have any suggestions, leave it in the comments below. For more updates on my thoughts on all this technology craze that's going on in the world, follow me on Twitter as well. Thank you for watching this video, and on to the next one.